I was going to ask you as well with the like when you guys go over and race Motocross the Nations, you're bringing your factory bikes over there to race their factory bikes, but with their factory bikes, they can do whatever they want with their bikes as far as
Hmm.
like modifications and stuff.
Yeah.
When you're racing in the nations, is it the same deal? You're bringing over your bikes with the same restrictions that you've had in the US. It's the same bike, and then over there, they've got their bikes that they can do whatever they like to. So they'd have a big
Yeah.
advantage. Is that correct?
That's completely correct because we can't go over there and go, okay, we're going to bring our suspension over, but the chassis is different.
Yeah,
You know, the engine's in a different place, or
yeah,
the rake to the frame, whatever it is different. You're not gonna that suspension isn't gonna work. You're
yeah,
gonna have to figure out how to ride it, and you don't have
yeah. That's
long
right.
enough to ride it.
Exactly.
Yeah, you
I
know what I'm
think that's
saying.
something
So
people forget about as well when they watch the nations. That the guys that come over from the AMA have a handicap against them guys because how much more modification they can do with their bikes compared to you guys.
yeah, I mean that has something to do with it because you have the ability to take a flaw out of a production bike.
Yeah,
Over here, you can help it,
yeah,
but you can't take it out of it. You know what I
yeah,
mean? By redesigning something, re-engineering something, changing material, or whatever it is.
yeah.
So you're going to be at a little bit of a lack there, just like 1984, 1983, 83, 84, 85, when Honda had that motorcycle.
Yeah.
It was just completely dominant because it was so far advanced than everybody else's,
Yeah, definitely.
right?
How did you find it
So,
when? Sorry, go on. Were you gonna say something?
no, just
Okay.
that's
Yeah, I was just gonna say, how did you
it.
find it when you went over and raced in the GPs and like, you know, then you had access to all that development and being able to change up the bike, as much as you like. You didn't have the same restrictions as you did in the US.
Um, let's say the first year I didn't have that. The first year we were kind of like, factory support. We got the stuff from the year before,
Yeah.
but our chassis was stock and stuff like that. So didn't really have it. The second year, then I was full HRC,
Yeah.
and then it was a completely different bike. This and that. Now, how did I find it racing wise? I found it a very easy transition.
Yeah.
Not that the riders were slow, not that anything else. Just it was a very easy transition because uh, we're racing a motorcycle,
Yeah.
and we're racing on dirt. There's nothing different than America to South Africa to Japan
Yeah.
to to Europe.
Yeah.
Maybe the tracks are a little bit different layout wise, but ruts are ruts and bumps are bumps and sand is sand. You know what I mean?
So you
It
think
just
maybe
I
it's
I
overmade
I
a little
I
bit?
jumped into it really easy.
Yeah.
I struggled a little bit with the mud in time practice, but not in racing.
Yeah.
Time practice, I wasn't fast. Those guys are super fast, but in the mud, I just to keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
Yeah.
So that's where it kind of leveled out.
Yeah.
But everything else, because back then we did 45-minute motos.
Yeah.
I mean, when I tell people how much riding we did, so in a GP back then was two 45-minute practices, one 45-minute time practice. That's on Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay. So two 45s and a 45-minute time practice. Sunday, 20-minute start practice, 45 minutes practice, and two 45-minute motos.
Yeah.
That's a shit ton of riding. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Over here, we get a little bit on press day, which helps. But you're usually probably riding a track that's smooth or has amateur lines, so
Yeah.
it's not gonna feel good. And then on race day, you have what, two 12-minute practices or something.
Yeah.
So you better have a very very good memory very quickly,
Yeah.
yeah, right, to
So it really
memorize
gives
that
you
track.
time to
Yeah,
get your
yeah,
bike styled and everything in. But I mean,
yeah.
like at the same time, like I mean, you guys over there already race too much anyway. So if you were to have that kind of weekend, every weekend, you know what I mean? Like, what's the break between each race in the GPs? Sorry,
In the break in between, like
like
between motos.
no, in between rounds.
I don't think there's the designated. Sometimes I have two in a row, three in a row. Sometimes I have a week in between, 2 weeks in between.
Yeah,
You know, I think it just depends, but it's not like a weekend off every single time.
yeah, yeah,
And so I don't think there's any like, set in place rules or
yeah,
schedule way.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, fair enough.
So But over here, because again, even in Supercross, you get short practices, and Nationals, you get short practice. So it's bred into us to
Yeah.
just explode right from the get go.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what I think Prado's not used to, is everybody exploding right from the get go, and he gets past real quick,
Okay.
and then it maybe just kind of loses the confidence, and then again, very hard for a champion to look at himself. He's always going to go to a bike because
Yeah.
he's done it. He's won so many times before. It can't be me.
That's a fair
It has to
point.
be the bike. Yeah,
Definitely.
but maybe you're just not riding. You're not riding these races correctly by sprinting in the beginning. You know, being more aggressive, riding a little bit past your limits sometimes,
Yeah.
and then you know, um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Because
No.
I saw them. I saw them both today. I saw Prado and his mechanic, talk to him both.
Yeah.
I didn't really ask much, but just asked a couple little things.
Yeah.
And said I know he told me that his gas was so much faster than his Kawasaki.
Yeah.
And so I get to how that would work for him to cruise through the corner, then explode, cruise through the corner, explode, roll through the corner, explode.
Yeah.
But is that a minute? Is that a minute's worth of horsepower?
Yeah.
I
And
don't know.
yeah,
I don't know.
it shouldn't be. Um,
I wouldn't think so, but
yeah, it
who
is at the
knows?
moment.
I can't.
I guess you can
I
only.
can't. I can't. I can't. I can't question a four-time world champion
Yeah.
that way.
No,
You
fair.
have to kind of believe what he says, but then you also have to look at the results.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. And for the full podcast, please click the link in the description. And for the lads, I'll see you next lap.